Hi friends, welcome to Blended Hearts Homestead. Tonight we're going to share with you an extra special recipe for breakfast, some fantastic muffins. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make those perfect high top muffins that we all love to see. So stick around and let us show you how to do it.
I'll show you how to do it.
So first, we want to give a big shout out to one of our fans, Tammy, because she recommended this wonderful little chef-in-training apron and hat set for our special little chef here, and we greatly appreciate it. What do you think, Levi? Do you like your new hat and apron?
Yeah.
So a couple of things that I want to share with you that I've learned along the way. When you're making muffins, regarding the ingredients, there's certain little tips to keep in mind as you're using them. For instance, sugar. If you've ever made muffins that have sunken in the middle or had a top that was a little too chewy, too much sugar may be the culprit of that. Not enough sugar, and well, they won't be as sweet. Now flour, too much flour can make your muffins too dense, but adding a little more flour can help add height to your muffins as well. Vegetable oil. If you add too much vegetable oil, it can make for a greasy muffin. Oil stays liquid at room temperature, which means that it keeps your muffins moist. You want to make sure that you do have enough. Baking powder. Don't think that adding more baking powder will make your muffins taller. If the batter isn't thick enough, you will just have flat-topped, wide muffins. One ingredient we're going to have in this recipe that's a little bit different than some others is sour cream. Sour cream will actually enhance the texture of your muffin, and it will also add flavor.
It also has flavor.
The sour cream helps to add thickness to the batter without having to add extra flour. And you can also substitute yogurt if you want instead of using sour cream. Fresh blueberries are definitely the best to use in a muffin recipe. However, if you do have frozen, that's okay too. Frozen blueberries will increase the baking time and may cause your muffins not to rise as high. Oven temperature. The temperature affects how the muffins rise and the bake time that is required. Baking at 400 degrees Fahrenheit will give you a nice rise, but they might get too brown. Baking at 350 degrees Fahrenheit will give you shorter muffins that don't brown. So we're going to be baking our muffins at 375 degrees Fahrenheit today. I found that to be the best for good, tall, golden muffins. And another tip, how do you get that muffin with the perfect tall crust at the top? Well, it's all in how much you fill your tin with the batter. If your batter is thick enough, you should be able to fill the muffin tin to the very top. As the muffin rises, it will produce that tall crown that creeps over the edge, creating that muffin top that we only want to see in a muffin.
And the mustard top.
If your batter is too thin and you fill it all the way to the top, then it's just going to spill all over the place. So what do you say, Levi? Do we want to get to making these muffins?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. For this recipe, you're going to need milk, flour, white sugar, 1 egg, vegetable oil, salt, vanilla, sour cream, baking powder, and fresh or frozen blueberries. And just a little tip, when you do bring home fresh fruit from the store, after you rinse them, put them into a mason jar rather than leaving it into the store-bought container. This will make your fruit last weeks longer. The supplies you will need for this recipe are a spoon or spatula, mixing bowl, 1 cup measuring cup, a 1/3 cup measuring cup, and a 1/4 cup measuring cup, 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon measuring spoon, and a muffin tin, as well as some form of medium to grease your muffin tin. Okay, the first thing we need is 2/3 cup of white sugar. I'm using a 1/3 cup measuring cup, so I'm going to put 2 in here. Then we need to add our egg. Levi, would you like to crack it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and pull it apart. Thank you. Yep, because we don't want any shells in there, huh, buddy? Good job. Nice. And we need 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I'm using a 1/4 cup here, so I'm going to put 2 in here. Then we need a 1/3 cup of milk.
4 cups of milk.
Yes. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Then we're gonna stir this until well combined. Next, we're gonna add 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, but don't stir it just yet. I'm just gonna set this right here on the top. Okay. Then we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Don't stir it yet. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now sometimes I will actually use a separate bowl to mix my flour, baking powder, and salt in ahead of time. But with this recipe, I stir the baking powder and salt into the flour right on top of the wet ingredients, just mixing them in good. That way you don't have to dirty another bowl. And then go ahead and stir your ingredients together. Go ahead, bud. Now we want to stir them until just combined. We don't want to overmix, just until it's no longer lumpy. Here's our oven.
Whoa, it gets pretty yummy.
All right. How's it taste?
Good.
Then we're gonna stir in 1/2 cup of sour cream. Okay, get out of there, silly. Again, I'm using my 1/4 cup measuring cup, so I'm gonna put 2 of these in there.
I like sour cream.
Yeah. So stir in the sour cream until it's well mixed.
What are you doing?
Mixing in the sour cream. Then we're going to add in 1 cup of blueberries. We're going to leave out a little bit to pat into the top of the muffin batter. Okay, go ahead and stir in those blueberries. Okay, now our batter is ready to go into the muffin tins. So the first thing we're gonna do is preheat our oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, if you have muffin liners, use them in the muffin tin. But if you don't have them, then go ahead and liberally coat your muffin tin with some form of medium to grease it so nothing sticks.
The blender you go flaying. Mommy's flaying the cup.
Let's fill our muffin tins. Now we're going to take some of our blueberries and just lightly push them on the tops
I gotta let you push them
so they'll come out in the baking. Oh. These are very large blueberries. Typically, probably your smaller ones would be better off for this, but we'll see how they turn out.
We see how we turn out.
Okay, nice. The next thing we are going to do to this before putting it in the oven is lightly sprinkle with white sugar on the tops.
I opened in it. See?
Okay.
There's juice in it. See? They're pretty.
It's nice.
Sometimes they're pretty.
Yeah, they're yummy. So as you can see, this batter is making us 8 muffins. If you want to make shorter muffins, you could probably fill all 12 slots. You can also make 3 or 4 giant muffins in a jumbo muffin tin, but if you do, bake them at 350 degrees for maybe about 40 minutes or until your toothpick comes out clean. Okay, now we are going to put these into our preheated oven set at 375 degrees for about 25 minutes. We'll keep an eye on them and get them out as soon as the toothpick comes out clean.
They're ready?
They're ready, I think. Yep, they're ready. And there they are, some very delicious muffins for breakfast. One of my favorite kinds of recipes is an easy one. These are easy and they're very good. And if you're looking for another breakfast recipe, check out my cinnamon roll waffles right here. Guarantee you'll love them. Thank you again for watching our channel. We greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in learning new recipes every week, hit the subscribe button below and follow us. If you do end up making this recipe, leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Until later, have a wonderful day. God bless you.